Hello, good people, and welcome to Passionately Intrigued Arts, and this is Tracy. Same day, different video. I need to make some chalk paint. I need some chalk paint. I'm not going out to the store, but I have a recipe to make some, and I need it in a turquoise color. So I'm going to do a DIY in making chalk paint. So hold on a moment and let me take you down to the table where I have all the stuff that I need to make it. All you'll need for chalk paint is acrylic paint in whatever color that you would like. So I need this turquoise color. A jar to put it in, some type of container that you can seal tight. I'm not going to make much. And you'll need plaster of Paris and then some water to thin it out. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, and I'm going to put the plaster of Paris in here first, and I'm going to use a tablespoon. So I only want 1 tablespoon of the plaster of Paris. Let's see if I can get this in here. There we go. So it's a 2-to-1. That's the one, and I'm going to use 2 parts. Let me shake it up. 2 parts of this turquoise acrylic paint. Use a color of your choice. So I'm going to pour 2 tablespoons of this turquoise. This is so simple, it's just ridiculous. And we spend all that money on that doggone chalk paint. Well, some of us do. Get most of that out and set it aside. So then you just blend it real well. Blend it really good, and if it's too thick for you, when you're through blending, that's where the water comes in. And you just add a little bit to thin it to the consistency that you want. So pretty much you want it the consistency of your acrylic paint, maybe a little bit thicker. So it's blended pretty good, and that's how thick it is. So I don't want it that thick, and I'm going to add a little water. And this is a recycled yogurt cup that I use as my water cup when I'm cleaning my paint brushes. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there and see what that does, how thin that makes it for me. I really could have did a double batch to fill this jar up. I see it's not mixed well. If you can see right here, I need to blend that in good too. You blend it so you don't see any of the white, any of the plaster of Paris, and you kind of try and smooth it out. That's better. Okay, let's see how it paints. Don't know, I've never used it before. Where's my paint brushes? I don't know how well it's going to do on this. I have this little ashtray that was given to me, and it's, you know, it's Rasta. And I want to sit this out on my front porch. And my front porch is gray, lilac, and turquoise. So this doesn't go at all, but this will be nice to sit out on my porch for those who smoke. I don't know if I should have sanded this because it's metal, but we're going to try. I'm just going to see how this paint works. I probably need to sand this metal, but yeah, because it's thin. Maybe I should have kept it thick. But I guess I can put several coats. Now what I should have done This is not what I'm going to paint. I should spray paint this white first. I forgot about that. Anytime you have something that you want to paint, cover over a certain color, you spray paint it white first so that when you put this other color down, you don't have this problem right here. So this is not what's working. Let's just see what it looks like. Let's see what the paint looks like on a white surface. So I'll just paint on here and see. And it's a little thin. So maybe I should not have put the water in there. So what I'm going to do is add just a little bit more of the plaster Paris. And let's see. Well, I can't. Here's my other spoons. So maybe I'll put, this is a teaspoon. Let's just see, a little bit at a time. I'm going to thicken it up. Thicken it up a little bit. Because I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't put the water in. Don't know. Just a little bit in there. Let's stir it up and see. See if that's any better, or do I need to add more? Let's see this coverage. That's a little better. A little better. So you can adjust. You can adjust the consistency. If you want it thinner, add more water. If it's too thin or not thick enough for you, you can add a little more of your plaster Paris. And if you don't have plaster Paris, you can also use talc powder, baby powder. You'll just have the baby powder smell, which is okay, I guess. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I want it thicker. I should have tried it out before I thinned it. A little bit more in there, and let's stir it up and see. Not bad, not bad. No, I probably have to use 2 coats of whatever it is. Let it dry and see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take my ashtray, wash these brushes out, clean up everything. I'm going to wash my ashtray. Wash. I said wash. Well, I am. I'm going to wash that chalk paint off. And then I'm going to spray paint it white. And come back and see how this works on top of that white. How about that? I'm just curious. What I decided to do first was to sand this so that the spray paint adheres a lot better. And this is just 180 grit sandpaper. So I'm just going to go around the whole thing, give it a light sand, and then wash it off, dry it off, and then spray paint it. Yeah, because I'm not feeling the Rasta. But I want this on my front porch. It's spring, starting to be spring, warming up a little bit here, and I'm trying to get my front porch a little bit at a time to start looking like spring. So let me finish just going around the rim, wash it off, spray paint it, let it dry. I'll be back. So I didn't have any more flat white paint. All I had was satin and gloss. So I used the satin, a couple coats, and then I used a cloth gloved hand and kind of put some texture to it since it's satin, so that we'll see how this paint adheres to it. So let's give it a go and see how this chalk paint works. I'm curious. Let's see. It's definitely going to need a couple coats, but it's working. Interesting. I'll probably get my heat gun out, dry this real fast, so that I can put another coat on it and see what it looks like. But it's not too bad. For this purpose anyway, for what I'm using it for, it'll work. It's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. But that's so easy how you can make chalk paint. And I guess I could have used the acrylic paint, but the acrylic paint, I don't know, it has more of a shine. Chalk paint is more of a matte. Sometimes I don't like shiny paint all the time. Now, should I paint this rim? I'm not really concerned with this because the rim, but maybe I will, but it probably will flake off because, you know, I'm going to put this on the top, so that's really not necessary. I'm not concerned with that. I'm just going to go up underneath that rim, and then I'm going to let this dry. So see, the first coat is not too bad. There's a few white spots in between where you can see the white satin paint. So I'm gonna get my heat gun out, blow this dry, and come back with another coat of paint. I've dried it, and I'm gonna put another coat. So you see, chalk paint is matte, so it kind of gives like a vintage or distressed look. Vintage, rustic. So let's put another coat and see how that does. What we got going on. And you can use chalk paint on metal. You can use it on wood. You can use it on glass. And I've read you can even use it on fabric. Now, that's interesting. That'd be another DIY? I don't know. On fabric. Wow. I don't know about that one. Yep, so this second coat is giving this ashtray life. It's covering up all the white and not looking too bad at all. So this will be a little bright piece added to my porch decor. Basically for decoration, but you know, if someone wants to use it, they can. If I move this over here, I don't have to reach over. And more than likely, knowing me, when I'm all done with this for the video, more than likely I'm going to go around that rim and touch it up with white paint. I'm pretty sure I will, because I don't like to leave anything unfinished. Although it'll be covered up, it still looks a little tacky right now. That's pretty neat, I think. Okay, I think I've gone all the way around it, so I'm just going to touch up this little rim part all the way around and let this dry. let this dry and see how it looks. Like chalk, I guess. Definitely matte finish. Okay, so that's it wet. Let me dry it. And we'll see. Let me put this top back on here. I don't want my paint to dry out at all. I've got my heat gun. Dries really fast. Just keep turning. I'm going to just keep turning it all the way around a couple times until it is thoroughly dry. Now you don't have to use a heat gun, but I'm using it for the purposes of this video so that I can speed it along. Now, if you see the streaks in there, it's not totally dry. Chalk paint kind of adds a little character to some items that you're painting. A little different. A lot different to me. Okay. I might even could use one more coat. Yeah, not bad. But you know, with this piece being outside in the elements, you know, I use the chalk paint as a DIY to see how to make it. I think I'm going to put one more coat on this because I see some streaks. I don't know if you can see them or not. I'll put one more coat on, dry it, and like I said, with this going to be outside in the elements, which is going to be on the porch, but still, I think I'm going to cover it, seal it with my DIY Mod Podge. My DIY decoupage glue. Mod Podge glue. Okay, let me put another coat on. Dry it, bring it back to you. I won't take up too much more time of yours. So I'll put you on pause while I do that. Third coat, done and dry. It looks pretty good. I even trimmed, you know, I had to trim the top with white. Why, I don't know, I just had to. It's definitely a drastic change from what it was. So what I want to do, like I said, I want to use the DIY glue that I made, the decoupage, the Mod Podge. So let me clear this stuff away. And get my DIY Mod Podge out. I'll shake it up a little bit, I don't know. So this is only my second time using this, but we're going to see what that does. And I'm sure it's going to give it a little shine now. But it's going to be outside, so I want to protect it. So that's going to take away, you know, the vintage look, the chalk matte look. But that was just for this purpose of making the paint. But for me to have it outside, I'm just going to coat it. Let's see how this does. And I probably, let me stop right now. Should pour some of this Mod Podge into the cap instead of dipping my brush into it. So I don't contaminate my glue. And I will probably do a couple coats of this just to make a thicker layer for protection of the outside elements. Okay, I'm going all the way around. Let me just even it out. Use my heat gun, dry it up. So I'm going to dry it, add another coat, and come back and show you. Alright, second coat on, and it's dry. So it has just a little sheen to it. It still looks a little matte, but it's nice. It's nice. Let's see. And then that matte paint, not matte, but the chalk paint, I did my research, and they say you can paint walls with it. You can do your vanity in your bathroom, chairs, dressers. Yeah, I'm not doing all that. Well, there's my ashtray. So it's still, it's just turquoise. And you know me, I gotta add a little something to it. So we're gonna see how these tattoos work. I've got a couple just to put a little flair to the ashtray, just a little something more, so it's not just plain Jane turquoise. So let's see how this works. I cut it close around the edges, and you peel off this plastic. And I have a wet sponge. So what you do, let me find one of the smoothest spots, is I'll put it in the front. Put your tattoo down on the surface. Take the sponge and hold it on there. And it's pretty wet. It's pretty wet, if you can see. There's water dripping out of it. So I don't know, since I have that decoupage on there, if this is going to work. 15-20 seconds, and then they said peel up a little bit to see if your tattoo is sticking down. Oh, look at there. Now, how cute is that? Oh, yes. I didn't get a paper towel because I need to blot it. 1 second. Blot it and flatten it. Oh, that's too cute. Look, y'all. I got one more little one. And I'm going to, where am I going to put that? Let me see, where is it? It's just this little flower-like thing. So let's peel off the plastic. And I guess, what? I'll flip it over and put it on the back side. Then you can't see it. I wish I had two to put one on each side. I'm just going to actually, oh, no, probably can't see it good if I put it there. Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't want to put it on the back. Let's see how it works on this silver. I don't know. Silver on silver. Put that sponge on there. 15 or 20 seconds. I'm just giving it, uh-oh, where'd that come from? Just giving it a little pressure. So the ideal is to soak through this paper to the tattoo. Okay, let's see if it's gonna stick down. It does, and you can't hardly see it, but it's there. Do you see that up there? You know, it's silver on silver, and it's got a little teal color in the middle of that flower. But that is too cute. Okay, I'm happy. Turned out okay. So thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Tracy's Teachable Moments at Passionately Intrigued Arts. If you like the content, if you learned something, if you enjoyed what I do, give me a thumbs up. You know, hit that like button. And if you don't, give me a thumbs down. It's totally up to you. Leave a comment. I would appreciate it. Hit the notification bell for upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Peace and love. Until next time. Later.